Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So, we got something a bit different today. This is the 6-channel version of Flysky SM001 and it's basically a really easy to use USB stick type controller that you can use with the RC simulators on the PC. So, very easy to use. You can switch the mode, so mode 1 or mode 2, depending on which side you want the throttle. You've got your little trims and everything on it. So let's bring you in for a close-up look and show you what this thing does. So as long-time viewers of the channel notice, we're trying out a couple of different views, see if this works any better for you guys, so you get a better look at what we've got. So let's see what we get in box, or see what's on the box to start with. So it's a Computer Models RC simulator controller. They do a 6 and an 8 channel. This is the 6-channel version. The 8 channel has 2 extras. Not a lot of other information on the actual box, but we have our quick start guide. You can download the instructions for this as well, and it just gives you a brief description of what all the sort of modes do and everything on it, and how to swap modes, how to swap your throttle side, so mode 1 or mode 2, and it will take you through what you need to do on that. But let's have a look what else we get in box. So it is packed quite nice, this one, and as always they've badged it up for me, so we got the Wtf Rc Cars logo. So we have our controls. So we got a 2-position switch, we've got a fully variable dial on the top, then you've got 8-way controls, and your auto return is on the right stick to start with. You've got D1 and D2 LEDs, and then you've got these 2 controls that as stock are set, so if you just power it up and control these, that will move your trim for each direction. And then you've got various different modes you can go to by pressing and holding these and switching between them. I believe if you turn it on with the sticks both held down like that and then plug it in, you'll get a calibration mode where you just move these to all their extremes. I'm not sure if you need to do the variable dial or flick the switch as well, but then you can press that button and it'll lock it so you've got it fully calibrated. But all that is in the quick start guide, so it does give you a full explanation of what you need to do with these. Let's see if we can get inside this. What size screws do we have? That wasn't a bad guess. So we are looking at 2.5mm. So you've got 4 screws. It'll be interesting to see if these are all the same size. So the top 2 are exactly the same. So all 4 screws are exactly the same. Let's just get that out of the way. So you've got these top 2, bottom 2. Should then be able to pull it open from the bottom. There we go. So that comes apart quite easy. Right, so once we get the controller apart, back just pops off. Do it front bottom, makes it easier. You'll notice we've got these 2 screws that if you wanted to, you can get one of these little plates and you can fasten it across here, and then that will stop this springing back. You can also replace this screw and take that little arm off, and you can fit that in this side if you want, or you could remove it completely, so neither of them self-return. And if you want to swap to mode 2, you just undo these 4 screws on both of these. You don't touch any of this wiring, and you literally just swap them over. Then you use your mode select to swap it over on the transmitter, and then you'll have the throttle on the opposite side, but also these will switch places for you. If you notice, we've got 3 extra solder points here, so it'll be interesting to see if we can just solder a switch in and add an extra channel. And then also on this side, we've got an extra wire here, so it'd be interesting to see if we can just connect this up and get another extra channel. As I say, this is the 6-channel version, and they do an 8-channel version that's got the extra switches soldered in straight from factory. But we can then pop it back together, and all you've got to do is drop your screws back in. So we'll get this put back together and then get you up on the PC and basically show you how this thing works with a simulator. So literally all we need to do is plug the controller in, start whatever flight sim you feel comfortable with that's compatible with this controller. We want to go into radio and select as interface, so it's going to be the RC sim, so we can select that one. If you need to calibrate, you can just go to calibrate, center all your controls, and then you can calibrate it. And if we go to where is it on this one, channel assignment, and that'll give you a rough idea of what I've got this set up to. Now, it's been an awful long time since I have flown an RC vehicle, be it an helicopter or an aeroplane, so anything could happen with this. So if we fire it up, well, let's try adding a bit of throttle and see if we can get this thing off the ground in one piece. And to be fair to it, it's not a bad little simulator controller. It's quite responsive. So you can put in very small inputs if you need. And if I don't write this little helicopter off, I will be absolutely amazed. Yeah. So we've got a throttle and everything, we've got all the controls. And it's quite easy to hover with this one as well. They are very sensitive, and for like a cheaper sort of alternative, it is very responsive. Oh, we're not going down yet. So we've got all those normal controls. We've got the gyro gain, which I can turn up and down. And if we get a bit of height, let's try the auto rotation. So yep, looks like that's working. Let's see if I can bring it back into view. And there goes my tail rotor. Yeah, it as a controller for a flight sim does look like it works quite well. Our flying skills definitely need a bit of work. As I say, it's been an awful long time since I have been flying RC. I never really did it for very long when I did fly it. There we go, it's landed in one piece. Yeah, hopefully that gives you some idea of sort of how it's going to behave, how you set it up, how you calibrate it, especially in this, I think this one's real flight. But yeah, definitely a very successful little sim transmitter, and a far cheaper way to getting into flying than going out and buying an expensive controller just to see if flying's for you. But let's see if I can get you some close-up of how you sort of calibrate the controller and what else you can do on it. So for this part, it's going to be easier to show you manual than actually trying to video the controller, but basically on Flysky's website we've got the link to the full manual, and I will add that in the description below. So just a quick overview of the layout of what buttons, so you know what we're actually talking about in this. So if we look down, you've got your readout of your LEDs. So LED 1 and 2, which are these two. So it tells you what the flashing functions mean depending on what you're doing. The main ones, you're going to be looking at how to swap the simulator mode. So it does support Real Flight XTR, and then G3 and G4.5, and then APD and PhoenixRC. So you've got 4 different modes that you can switch it to, and it does tell you what the flashing of these LEDs do when you're going through, like, changing modes and everything. As I've shown you, you can quickly take it apart and you can switch the mode from mode 1 and mode 2. So depends what you're used to or what aircraft you're flying, you can set the controller up exactly how you like. And also you can change, so rather than physically swapping them, you can also change the trim buttons over by following this bit of instructions. So you press and hold the trim buttons in the middle position, press and hold them both at the same time, and it enters stick switching mode. Left button will change it from 1 or 2, and then you press the right button to sort of save that mode if you like. By default, throttle stick, so the non-self-centering one. If you switch to mode 2 and want to keep the throttle stick non-centered, you can swap the gimbal assemblies, which I've shown you. So take the 4 screws out and just switch them over. You've got 4 little screws on the edge of each one, and you don't have to move any of the wiring over, but then you do have to remember to swap the mode by doing the process above. And trim tells you how to do that. Stick calibration basically tells you how to set it up, so you hold them both in the bottom left hand corner and then you power it up. Move both sticks to the full travel, put your left stick to its neutral position, and then press the middle of the left trim or right trim button to exit, and then you'll get a solid red LED. Trim reset in case you've messed it all up. Press and hold the middle left trim button, same time as you power it on, and it'll reset all trims to 0. So that's nice and easy. Switching simulator mode, so you hold the left stick at the bottom left hand corner, power it on, and then you get your different LED states. Press the left button in the center to click through them, and the right button will lock it, so it'll lock it to whatever mode you want. And as we've seen above, it tells you what the flashing lights will mean, as in what software it's set to compatibility mode with. But yeah, does work. It says it works all the way up to Windows 10, but I'm running it on Windows 11 and it works absolutely fine, so that's not a problem. And it tells you all the various simulators that it's compatible with and the various different types of aircraft, and then just your compliancy. So nice brief overview and a bit of a demo of what this does, so let's wrap this one up. There you have it, the SM001. It's quite nice made, easy to take apart if you want to change the throttle side, so your mode 1 or 2, and quite nice fit. USB A type, so really easy to connect to anything, and be interesting to see if you can add the extra channels. But thanks again for watching Wtf Rc Cars. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, share to friends and family, and catch you guys again in the next one.